Germany just has a huge problem to find enough skilled people in tech and IT. So, and that became worse and worse in the last 5 to 10 years. So what happens? Companies have to make your life nice.
Hi and welcome back to our channel. My name is Jörg, which is German for George here. I found a job in Germany in Berlin, and with me today is my colleague and partner Tammo. How's it going, Tammo?
Very good. How are you, Jörg?
Also very good, thank you. People, we are going to talk about motivation. What's the main driving force behind people coming to move and live and work in Germany? Why is this important even? To answer that question already, it's important for your first round with a German company. You want to share your story. Anyway, today we want to talk and share more insights into what we know from the people who join our personal coaching program and why they want to come to Germany. Want to maybe also shed some light on what you can expect here and what the difference really is. Some practical talk. Tammo, what would you say is the main motivation that people are sharing when they're in touch with us and when they're coming to Germany? When it comes to motivation, why do they want to move to live and work in Germany?
Yeah, before I answer that, let me just quickly emphasize again why this is important. Moving to a different country, taking this decision, starting a new career in Germany is a long-term decision, right?
Oh, yeah,
you have to think that through and you have to have a strong motivation. Just the fact that you might earn a few dollars or a few euros more than you do in your home country, that should not be the driving factor for you. So what we have seen over the years, that the strongest motivation, at least for more senior developers, is a better work-life balance.
So culture, in fact.
Culture, different work culture, different way of approaching things.
And this is something that I've also personally witnessed over the years, especially people from India who are saying that, yes, salaries have really picked up and really increased over the last years, especially the last 2-3 years, and people are making a lot of money in India. But then we're also hearing that while salaries have improved, work culture really has not improved. And this is not our place to judge that. It's not our place to comment on that. We're in no position to do that, but we are just sharing this. And what do you think is the difference here, or what do people say when they come here, who make it, and when they compare the differences?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know how many times I have heard the story. You know, I'm working 12, 13, 14, even 15 hours in my home country in India. And sometimes I even have to commute, so take an hour to work, take an hour to get back from work. So I literally do not have any time for my hobbies, for my family, to do whatsoever. So I'm stuck at work. And even on weekends, so the manager is calling me, I have to jump in there. So that's really the stories we hear. I mean, I had a client a few weeks ago, he told me the very same from a company like PayPal, we all know that. I mean, he gets a lot of money, but like, what is the money for if you can't spend it, if you don't have time to spend it, right?
That's true. And I also heard this from DevOps engineers, especially when they're in charge of around-the-clock emergency calls, then you have to answer your phone. That's not life. And now comparing it to Germany, there is, of course, companies which will reserve the right in their employment contract with you where they can call you in if there is a peak time, if there is a need to work on a project over the weekend or to stay in for a longer hour. But that's really the exception. I would say that's not the rule at all. And usually they let you alone and they let you take your free time. And if it's 9 to 6 or 9 to 5, it's
Exactly.
9 to 6 or 9 to 5. And I even have a few guys now who came here this year who are talking about 4-day work weeks already.
Exactly.
So it's only 4 days a week that they actually work.
Exactly.
Full salary, by the way. So it's really changed.
Again, if it's 9 to 5, it is 9 to 5. No one will call you over the weekend. Don't get me wrong. In Germany, you have to work, you have to deliver, and you get the freedom to do so. But on the other hand, companies understood in order for you to bring your best possible performance, you also need to have time to rest, to get creative, to rethink, to do other stuff in the end.
Exactly.
And some clients, even when we were working here in Germany for quite some time now, when we speak to them, they told me, yeah, I had an update call with my manager and everything was good, but the only thing he had to complain about is that I didn't take my holidays yet. So that's the way they approach things. Yeah.
So we don't want to sugarcoat everything. And if you end up with an employer here in Germany that does not fulfill these requirements, what do you do, Tammo?
I mean, you just first of all speak to them and try to change the situation,
Talk to them,
obviously.
exactly, yeah.
But then you just look for a new opportunity.
Switch. You don't have to stick to these people. If they are not in, it's not a good company, then you switch. And you're going to find eventually an environment which provides this kind of freedom, this kind of legroom. It is usually the standard, I would say. We're hearing quite a few good things about that. So salary is not the main driving force.
And maybe just to give you also a bit of a background why the work-life balance and why the work culture is as it is. Germany just has a huge problem to find enough skilled people in tech and IT. So, and that became worse and worse in the last 5 to 10 years. So what happens? Companies have to make your life nice in in their company in order to retain also the talent.
Exactly.
And that is the reason. If you don't like your company, if the work environment is toxic, you just move on.
You say goodbye. And this is also important to know. The young ones are pushing towards that generation that is actively asking for it. They are the ones who are dominating and pressuring the market and those companies to provide for said legroom, provide for said freedoms. Now, what do you say is another main motivation for people to come to Germany? Maybe it's also a different group.
A second group, I would say, is I call them more mid-level experienced developers, let's say anything between 4 and 6 years of experience. Those guys usually looking for new exposure. They hit a ceiling in their current company and now they just want to work with the latest tech stack. They want to work maybe in a more multicultural environment. And that's why they're looking for Germany, because in the last 10 years, Germany has really been developing to one of the major tech hubs in the world.
Those are usually also the ones who end up working for startups or highly scaling companies at least, and those are the ones who are then enjoying themselves not just in Germany but even in other countries in Europe, right?
I mean, of course, if I speak to those people, like they're usually in their mid-20s and 20s, they come here also to explore the world. If you come to Germany, you get a blue card. That's the type of visa. And you can travel. You can visit all European countries without any extra visa. You can go there. You can even work from those places because a lot of those companies have very relaxed remote policies. And that's a huge factor for those guys. Exactly. I mean, travel, explore the world. They get a decent amount of salary. I wish I would have this money when I was like 27, 26. And just see the world, right?
That's the thing. Once you are here and once you've proven yourself to your new employer and once you have proven yourself to be not just loyal but professional and diligent in your job, they will give you more and more freedom like that. We know that people are going back to their home countries to work from there for some time, especially during the colder seasons, or they're going to Rome, they're going to Madrid. One of those guys who went to our meetup last time actually said he just came from Athens in Greece and he worked there for 2 weeks, which is really great. His employer is allowing him to. He's been with that company for over a year, so slowly but surely they will let you do these things as well. That's the nice thing, really.
Exactly.
Let's now maybe talk about another main motivation and also another group that we've observed.
Exactly. The third main group we are working with is a family with young kids. And those families, they want to move abroad for a better future of their kids, to get a better education, maybe also to raise their children in a different environment, in a multicultural environment, make them learn a new language, which will obviously help them a lot in a globalized world as we live in. And this
educational system and healthcare for free.
Exactly. And this is Germany. If you have young kids, I would say most of those people, their kids are between 2 and 6 years old. And that really makes sense because in Germany, school starts from the year of 6. So you have to send your kid to school when they turn 6. And in most states, the primary school is 4 to 6 years. And after that, you decide to which school you want to send your kid. If you send it to the gymnasium, after that you can do your university. All this is for free, right? And if you come here early with your kids, it makes sense because before school you can send them to kindergarten. They learn the language here, and then when they get to school, they can already speak German. That's a huge advantage for them. So that is really, a big target group or a big group of people we have coming
Also,
to us.
more senior usually, those people also with 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years of experience. And one more thing really, interestingly enough, and of course that plays a role when people compare countries that they want and can immigrate to. Germany is open for tech and IT professionals. That's actually permanent residence.
Yeah.
You are able to get your PR after, I think it is on average 2 to 3 years. It really depends on the immigration on the ground.
Yeah.
But once you get your blue card first, then you are going to be here for a year, 1.5 years. Usually it's just a matter of time until you get your PR. And you don't need to extend it and keep on extending it and keep on extending it like we heard is the case in the US.
Yeah, I mean, every week I'm speaking to at least 1 or 2 guys who currently, they originally come from Pakistan or from India. They moved to the US and they've been in the US for 5-6 years working there, getting a good salary as well. But what is missing for them is a long-term perspective. So they really don't have that there. Yeah? The same in Dubai. We speak to guys from Dubai. They say, if I lose my job, I have to leave the country. In Germany, this is different. Like as Jörg said, after 2 years, you can apply for your PR. And now with the new Skilled Immigration Act, you can already apply for your passport, German passport, after 5 years of being in Germany. True. So if you're looking for a long-term perspective, that's the ideal place there. I do not think there's any other region in the world right now where you can do that apart from Europe.
Very much. When you're coming with kids, you're going to find that your child is going to pick up on the language very fast. Usually they pick up on the new language within 6 to 8 months, and then they can run all your errands for you. That's really great. We've had quite a few of those people visit us here at the office with their children, and they're already fluent in German.
Which also answers no, you don't have to speak German.
Which means you don't have to be able to speak German. But as we always keep on saying, it will definitely make your life and your settling here easier and smoother. And really long-term, we're talking about long-term perspective, PR, learn German when you're here. Still, that's the major piece of advice at this point. But circling back to what we said in the beginning, each and everyone has their motivation. Each and everyone has their story. And we respect that as much without being critical or without being judgmental. It's important, however, for us to know because it helps us also position you. And in the interview rounds, it plays a crucial role. So also as a takeaway, if you want to practice for a first round, try to practice your story on why you want to work for them. Why Germany? Why not Canada? Why them? Why not another company? This is actually important for when you're doing first rounds with German companies.
And one more thing, obviously a strong motivation also gives you the power to be persistent, to go through all the interviews, because I can guarantee you, you will most likely not get a job offer from the first German company you're interviewing with. So you have to be persistent and you have to learn throughout the process. The process can easily take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And if you do not have a strong motivation, you would just give up. That's for sure.
Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tammo. We hope you had some insights from this. It sounds like a less important issue for us. I would say it's even critical. So that's why we wanted to talk about it. In any case, thank you for following us. Thank you, Tammo, for joining.
Thank you. And yeah, if you are working in tech and IT and you have a strong motivation to come here, watch our 20 minutes video training, which you find below this video, understand how we work, and then book a get-to-know call with us. We will evaluate your profile, and if we think you have good chances of landing a job here in the next 3 months, we're going to work with you, and then we're going to make this happen. Bye-bye, auf Wiedersehen.
Ciao, ciao.